What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. In one of my previous videos, I picked up this 1996 Ford F-150. It's a pretty sweet truck. It's been rolled over. It doesn't run right now because the guy that I bought it off of, Rob, he says that the fuel pump either quit working or there's a bad connection. Something's up with the fuel pump and the gas tank leaks. So we're going to get under there, pull the tank, take a look at it, see what's up, buy the parts that we need, or fix the one that's in it. I don't know yet what it's all about in there. So that's the plan. So first off, if you're new to the channel, thanks for coming by and hanging out. We'll take a look at this truck. It's a 1996 short bed, short cab, four-wheel drive, 302 5-speed manual. It's a pretty nice truck. They're pretty desirable. It has been rolled over, so we'll go take a look at that thing. Then we'll get under there and pull that tank out. I did manage to buy some parts for it. That's a cab corner over there and a new wheel arch for, I think, the right side of the truck. It does have just a little bit of damage here and there. You can see the wheel arches need to be kind of fixed up, so the parts are readily available for this thing. So we're going to go ahead and get those things on order. It's got some issues. Now, the history with this truck is that the previous owner had put a bunch of work into it. The entire front end has totally been redone, so all new bushings, everything. It's got nice new shocks on it, rough country stuff. So the whole front end has been gone through on it. And then as soon as they got it done, the guy's kid slid it into a snowbank and rolled it over. So that's kind of where it's at. They never made a claim on it. So it's all just basically the way that it is. But it runs and drives. According to my buddy Rob, he's had it for about 3 years. He says the AC blows ice cold. Everything's good on it. You know, brand new front end. Everything else pretty much straight ahead. So I found a truck that I can get doors and a roof. So we're going to end up cutting the roof off of this thing and welding on a new roof, new fenders, things like that. More than anything, we got to get it running. Now, he says that it runs and drives great. It does have a 5-speed in it. That's pretty important to me. So, yeah, we're pretty much good to go there. It's not in terrible condition, but it has been sitting outside in the rain for quite a few years. If you didn't see the video of me picking this thing up with Rob, I'll leave a card up there in the corner. You can watch it if you want. You can see that the cab is kind of pushed in a little bit because the edge of this rear window is a little bit bent. So I did take some pictures up to a local shop that has a frame rack to see if they're interested in measuring it to make sure that it's, correct. It's a double steel roof. So you can't just put a porta power in there and just start pushing the roof out and get the dents out of it because it won't really work. So we'll hear back from the shop and make sure that the cab, let's say, isn't tweaked over like that or the other way. You can see the body line right here is pretty much perfect. But over here, the body line, not quite so much. So I don't know if the cab is down or the bed is up. But anyway, we'll figure all that stuff out later on. So now if we crawl underneath the truck, the tank is leaking. So according to my buddy Rob, he says it's not leaking super bad, just some drips, but it has been sitting for a while out of his place. The hanger up there is rusted off, so that'll have to be addressed. The tank does have a hole in it. For right now, I think I'm going to epoxy it, so we'll pull it down and just clean it up and put some epoxy on it. The tanks aren't terribly expensive, so I'll just replace the tank. You can see the condition of it under here. It's not super bad. I mean, it looks pretty bad, but this is Michigan. The frame, the floor pans and stuff are pretty good. It's just got some scale on the frame. Has a typical spring hanger rust, so, straight through. So the hanger has to be replaced, but not a big deal. I think this one might have been replaced. That's bolt in. I think that they're riveted on. Yeah, so that one is riveted on. You can see right there. So that one is the original one. And this one has already been replaced because it's bolted in place. So anyway, think that these are 15 mil or something like that. So put you up on a tripod, blast it down with some PB blaster and try to impact these things off and see what's up. I can't really put heat on them because gas tank with a hole in it, probably not a great idea. But yeah, overall, truck ain't too bad. Well, I've got my trusty ATV jack under it with a milk crate, just kind of holding it up, so I think it'll work out all right. I just have to get to that bolt in the back, bolt in the front, and see if you guys can actually see anything. Probably not. I need to get a better camera so you guys can see stuff, like something smaller. For right now, though, I have to get that bolt out, and with all this in the way, there's no way for you guys to see it, so I'm just going to zing it out of there, zing out this one right here, and then we'll drop the tank and see what it looks like. Alright, well, I got both of them out. The tank is loose. For all the dirt that's on the ground, there's an equal part down my back and in my face. It's pretty nasty, but I can't really clean it. I can't pressure wash it, it's too cold out. So, all of those lines right there, those are all going right into the tank, so they'll all be up in here. There's supposed to be 3 different types of these tanks. One with a front mount sending unit that should be like right in the front here, kind of like the Jeep. And then apparently there's one in the back, one with the sending unit in the back, and then there's one with the sending unit in the middle. Now it does have kind of like a divot. I don't know if you can see it right there. Maybe that's the sump, and that means that it is in the middle on this tank. I'm not entirely sure, so we're just have to drop it out and see. That's why I didn't order anything ahead of time, because I don't know where the sending unit on this tank actually is. But it is pretty wet in there. That's all gas. So I don't know how full this tank is. We're just going to kind of see where it goes. Hopefully it's not too bad. Doing this laying on your back is awful. Huh, weird. Oh yeah, I've got the filler neck attached, that's right. Forgot about the filler neck, so I'll zip that thing off of there, and then we'll continue. Man, it's tight under here, holding this thing. It looks like a carriage bolt with just a, I don't know, a bolt through it or whatever, a little plate rather. Those things were right up in here, in those holes. You see the holes? And they were just loose. I don't know if that's like a Ford thing for the tank, but there really wasn't anything holding them on, or holding them in there. There were no nuts on them or anything like that. So there were 2 on each side. Maybe that was like an old, part of an old hitch system or whatever. I don't know. The other side's kind of sort of down. Coming down, anyway. This is a tight fit. Pretty sure that's about the best I'm going to be able to get you guys for seeing this thing. entirely sure. This might be like the Dodge where it's best just to take the bed off. But all right, there we go. Little pry bar action. That's a tight fit. The main issue right now is the filler neck is stuck on the hose for the fuel tank. That's the other side of it, you can see. So I'm not sure what to do about that right now. I guess I'll just keep fighting with this thing to try to squirrel it off of there. Not a lot of room in here. And there's nowhere to pry on it or anything like that. It's just really difficult to kind of get to. It's in an awkward spot. Well, I haven't made any progress on that, but if you listen, it's got some gas in it. It's probably up to here. Might have like a third of a tank in it. Something like that. So it does have some gas in it. What in the heck is going on? It has another little hose inside of this hose? What the heck is that all about? Huh. Why would there be another hose inside of this hose? Of course, there's like no good way to see anything. What's that thing all about? Crazy Ford stuff? Never seen that before. Huh. Weird. Is that the breather or something? There is a breather on top. We can see that finally. There's the breather. It looks like it is a front mount fuel pump. If I had to take a guess, this is the center. So it is a front mount pump, so at least we can get a pump coming for it. But doggone, what the heck is up with that crazy thing? Look at that. Of course, using a big cell phone isn't great for a camera, so kind of struggling down here, but man, that thing's weird. Well, at least now I can, I guess, disconnect that little worm clamp, whatever. There's no room for you guys, so I'm going to do it and get done. Let's see. It's a little scaly and crusty, but not too bad. I mean, it is Michigan. Look at the rusty ram. Look at how bad that thing is. I put it up on a lift, and the frame bent so much it popped the parking brake bracket off the side. So, and that's a 2000. This is 96, so a little bit older, in better shape though. Well, I got it out. So here's the deal. Not entirely sure why the filler neck has this whole hose thing on it. Crazy Ford stuff. I don't know why it couldn't have been like a Dodge. It's just a, you know, a filler neck. All right. So here we are. There's no room under here. This is what we're after. So a couple of clips here. Pop those off. So this style clip, if you watch any of my D150 videos where I fixed the speedometer cable, this is the clip I was trying to make. Basically, this style snap over clip. So got the sending unit plug right here. I got to be able to see that. Pop these things down and off, and those quick connects. It should just release, I think. Anyway, like literally there's no room here. I'll try to show you. So yeah, there's about 14 inches. If I try to get under here, my shoulder snags on the bumper. So, I don't know. I'm just going to pop these things off. Shouldn't be too big of a deal, I hope. There's one. I don't think you'll be able to see, but this is a quick disconnect tool. Clamp it around the line. you push it in and it releases the lines. Now I don't know if I have the right size or not, but I guess we'll find out. There's like a pocket in this tank, which I can't get the camera up in here for you guys to see. So take my word for it. Get a little bit of PV Blaster up in there. Hopefully that'll help something. I'm gonna have to tap it in with a hammer, I think. We got this little tiny hammer. It doesn't really weigh a lot, so maybe it'll work. There we go. One's off for 5/16. And a 1/4 inch. There we go. But this is the breather. I'm going to try to get it off without breaking it, but I don't know if that's going to happen. It's plastic. There we go. The tank is out. I found this connector under there. Now this is pretty nice. My Dodge didn't have a connector that I'm aware of. I think it was just all tied into the wiring harness. But I did put a lot of pressure on these, so hopefully they're still good. So the main goal is just to get the truck moving under its own power so I can start it and move it in and out of the shop and whatnot. So that's the main goal with it. I'm not fixing it right this second. So we're just going to kind of see how it goes tomorrow. You know, it's going to be tomorrow for me, but only a second for you, so I'll see you then. Well, it's the next day out here. I checked on the price of a fuel pump for that. It's $240 just for the pump. That's not including the sending unit. I talked to Rob. He said that the fuel sending unit in there was reading empty, or the gauge on the dash was reading empty. That's got 1/3 of a tank or so in it, so something's wrong with the sending unit. I don't know. We'll just have to see. I couldn't find my brass chisel, so we're going to use this copper. Knock that ring off and take a look at the pump. Alright, well I'm going to have to find the brass punch. This isn't going to work. Alright, big brass bar. Should do it, I hope.
One eternity later.
Alright, well I'm going to break the rules. Use an actual steel chisel and hope we don't die. Let's see what this thing looks like. Main thing is you can't get the O-rings without buying the entire thing, which kind of sucks. Oops. Gas looks pretty good in there. I'll show you in just a second. So anyway, that's it. I don't think I bent this at all. I think it should still be good. This kind of, I don't know, beige part, old computer looking part, that is the fuel pump itself. And then this part is the sending unit, and it all unbolts or bolts onto it right there. So $240 just gets you kind of this beige part. You have to reuse your sending unit unless you buy that too. So hopefully it's just like a bad wire or something up in here. We're going to take this thing apart and see if we can just swap in a new pump. All right, well, I just kind of wiped this thing down a little bit. You know, the sock looks a little dirty, no big deal. This is the sending unit. So it has a yellow wire right there. That's basically the signal wire, and then it grounds out to the body right there. So you get your old cheap multimeter, put it on your ohm rating. There we go, there's our positive, that'd be the signal. Then we can just ground it out essentially anywhere. It came off. There we go. See how it's reading all over the place? It should go up in a linear way. So from 0 to whatever the rating is, it shouldn't go from 0 to 13 to 1 to 50 all over the place. So it's just everywhere. Pretty much there's no way for this thing to work properly. Now, it could be that just inside of here there's a little pad. There's a circuit board right back there. I don't know if you can see, it's like a little white pad. That just has a bunch of little printed circuit traces, a bunch of lines on it, and then a little sweep on this arm here. And as it goes up, it just reads across it and changes the resistance. So that's probably just worn out. We'll have to see. I don't know how many miles are actually on this truck. You know, how many tanks of gas or whatever this thing has swept through. So that's probably just bad. We can try to take it apart and see. There we go. Now it should unclip right there, and then we'd be able to pop this apart. I don't know if you can tell or not. You see this little mushroomed over area? It's like a security thing. It keeps it from popping apart. So they build this thing, snap it all together, and melt that closed. So we'd have to grind that off or break it, and then it should pop open if these little locking tabs don't break. So we can give it a shot and see what it looks like in there. All right, well, I ground that little tab off. It just comes apart. See a little sweep? See if I can get a better view of it for you. So you can see inside, that's basically what it looks like. And as this thing floats around, it changes the resistance in there and reads it. And then your gauge reads that. So you can see it's pretty well worn out in there. I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but she's pretty worn out. So seems like this truck spent a lot of time just in, you know, the half tank range. Now this part here, we'll get into this thing and try to take it apart. Inside of here is just a regular fuel pump. So if I can get this housing apart with these little clips without breaking it, we should be able to just replace the fuel pump inside, save all of this. There we go. See? Just a regular old fuel pump in there. So unfortunately this one got bent a little bit. I think it'll still hold. It hasn't broken right off, but it does have like that kind of white line there where I've overstretched it. With the new fuel pump, whatever module or assembly, whatever, you would get all of this new stuff and a new sock. I'll show you the inside of that tank and you'll see that it doesn't look bad in there. All right, so you can see in there, tank looks nice. You know, fuel looks good. Maybe there was something else going on. Maybe the pinhole is just so slight and so small that I'll be able to fix it with just some epoxy. That's my plan. Drain out that fuel, get another pump, and then maybe just try to salvage the tank the best that we can, because the inside looks good. The fuel is apparently like a year old. It does have some issues. A new tank is only about $100, but it's still $100. You know what I mean? Like $100 on a tank. The rest of the stuff, whatever, it's going to need a lot of help. But I'll save all the money I can. If I can squeeze by with the tank just the way that it is for now, I'll do that. And then we'll put a better tank in it later on. But we'll go ahead and replace this pump. And then it should start up, hopefully. Well, I suppose what we can do is see how this pump reacts to having some power on it. Let's see what happens. We'll put some juice to it. And always remember to play with electricity and sparks around a table covered in gas. That's always good. Well, this thing should spin up if it works. Negative. I can feel it trying to turn, and it won't. Oh! Oh! See it catch on fire or start smoking? I don't know if you saw that or not. Oh, I can smell it. Pump is definitely toast. So now we validated the fact that this is a dead pump. It has nothing to do with the wiring, anything. It's just a bad pump. Well, it's been several days. I didn't really have any luck finding just a standalone pump to replace this one. None of the parts houses could really find that number or cross-reference it or anything. They wanted me to call the dealer and whatnot. To buy the sending unit with the pump was like $240. It's kind of a lot of money, and then I'd still need a tank. So I just bought a tank. So the entire tank with the sending unit and the pump was like $255 versus, $240 something, then whatever the tax was, just for the pump and the sending unit. So I got the entire tank. Everything's all ready to go. I just have to add my vent from my other tank right onto there. And it even came with new hangers. So, that's a pretty good deal. I got it through Rock Auto. Spectra Premium, whatever that is. I don't know. So everything should work now, and that's basically it. So that worked out. It's going to be way easier overall just to swap in that whole tank. Now, I'm just going to do the tank installation off camera just because you've already seen me take it out. That's the hardest part. Putting it in's easy stuff. So I'll go ahead and do that off camera, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, according to Rob, this thing should just start up and run. So that should be it. I'll throw the battery charger on it so I got a good charge, and then I guess you can already see Rob found us some doors. So on his way home from work, he passes by a place. He said he knew that there were some trucks out there. He went and grabbed these doors. They're rust-free, in perfect shape. There's really nothing wrong with them. Just a couple of little tiny dents, like shopping cart type of dents in them, but rust-free. The bottom of the door edge is perfect. There's nothing wrong with them. They're great. The only difference is that these are manual lock, manual window doors. That truck is power lock, power windows. So eventually we'll have to switch all that stuff over. But that's a whole video down the road. But there's no way for me to hide these things from you. So I figured I'd just tell you about them now because they'll always be in the background and I'll get a bunch of questions about them. So anyway, we'll go ahead and throw that tank in and let's see if this thing will start up. Hey, real quick, I was watching Mortsky Repair a few weeks ago and he was trying a life hack that he saw online on how to start a siphon by cutting a slit in the side of his hose and then put your air nozzle all the way inside of the hose, give her a little bit of juice, it starts the siphon and there you go. But there's an easier way to do it where you don't have to cut a slit in the hose or anything like that. You can just basically blow air across the front of the hose, which will then create an area of low pressure inside of the hose and start the siphon on its own. So I think Mortsky's thing was that his tank wasn't higher than what he was trying to siphon into, so it just wouldn't keep the siphon going, and that was basically all that was wrong with that. But beyond that, it's pretty easy to do. Just get your hose in there. This one's pretty much frozen, so it's being unruly, but just blow air right across the front. And there you go. Siphon started. No cutting required. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy, as Mortsky would say. If you're unfamiliar with how a siphon works, all you got to do to stop it is pull the end up out of the highest level and it'll stop the siphon. And there you go. Done. Look who it is.
Hey.
It's Rob. I had to call in the big guns since this was his truck.
Yeah. I sold it, and then he's making me work on it. I didn't think it's supposed to work like that.
That's the way it goes. So I couldn't get the tank up by myself, really. So I needed an extra hand laying on my back. Not the easiest way. So anyway, I called in Rob. We were going to fire it up. We put a little bit of gas in it. Rob put a little bit of gas in it. And I think we're about ready to start it. So I figured I'd just take you guys along for the initial fire up. What do you think?
I guess that's all we can do.
That's all we can do. Do you think it's gonna fire right up?
Absolutely, it's a Ford.
He claims that this thing just a bad fuel pump and it'll fire up and run like a dream. So we're gonna see if
I'm always right.
If he took
That's
his
what my
friend
wife
for a
says.
ride.
My wife says I'm always right, so I got to be always right.
All right, so we're gonna try it out. I'm gonna let Rob start it. That way, if it blows up and burns down,
Yep, I'm responsible, I guess.
yep, that's it. All right.
Let's try this.
All right.
So you ready?
We'll give it a shot. Wait, turn it off again. I don't think
I didn't hear the fuel pump.
Oh, we never plugged it in.
We didn't. Hello.
Well, that's probably a problem.
Gives
Let me
you
go.
one job to do.
Let me plug in the fuel pump. Yeah, probably the reason why it's not working. Rob claims that he never knew that the shackle mount was totally shot.
I never looked into this truck. I just beat it every day I drove it.
Right? Well, unfortunately, the bad thing for me is this tank is so tight in there, and where I'm going to have to grind out those shackle rivets, I actually really need the tank to be out of it to do it, but we'll figure it out. That's a job for a way other day. Thank you, sir. So, now we should hear the fuel pump. There we go.
There it is. You ready?
Yep, fire up. Well, they put it on the 225 amp start. He sold me an old truck with a bad battery.
I'll take that old battery.
And you whoa. Probably should have cleaned these.
God, cleaning those cables.
I know, right? Want me to bleed the air out of the rail?
Oh, maybe. Unless it'll do itself.
Yeah, it should over time. Give her a shot now. She's on the juice. Almost.
Oh, this throttle is a little sticky.
Throttle sticky?
Yeah.
How long has this sat without running?
Oh, probably
Last spring, maybe, or something?
Okay, let me grab some PB Blasta. We'll blast it.
We need to get in here and make sure this is not going to be wide open.
Yeah. All right. Got the big shot.
It's back again. I'll try it.
Well, all right. All right, hang on. Woo.
Ready?
No.
Oh,
Wait. I can smell the battery burning up here. I can smell something burning. I probably should clean these.
plastic then if we have a little second to...
Yeah. Yeah, I can smell the battery boiling over. Smell it?
Yeah. So it's inside there, I guess. Yep, that spring part right there. Yeah, there you go.
The 225 amp start thing, not ideal. Let's get some light on the subject. You always tell it smells like rotten eggs. Give her a shot. All right, well, I guess I should probably clean the cables, huh?
Yeah.
You got a little bit better. I don't know. This is like my main phone. It's not like the phone I normally use for making videos, so I don't know what it's gonna be like. Hang on. All right, give it a shot. See. Hey. There you go. pick one up at US Auto. Like someone there. Oh, dang. Well, this is the price you pay with any. I don't know, something over there. I have to.
You're the most accident prone man I know. Well, except my brother.
Except Mark.
Look at that thing.
She runs good. Oh,
It might be a little dry in here too, but I think it squeaks after a while.
Oh, the idler?
So far it sounds good.
We never even checked to see if the gauge works. Let's see.
But yeah, it looks good.
Oh yeah, it's working.
It's
Gauge is working. Everything's good. Guess we could put a little air in the tire and take her for a cruise.
all right. Now I'm gonna buy it back from you.
I don't know all the work. So I don't know if I mentioned or not, but on the 30th, this truck has an appointment with a collision shop to have this thing put up on a rack and have the entire frame and cab and everything measured to find out exactly what is bent or wrong with it. So on the 30th, this thing will go away. I needed it running for that. So it'll go away and get measured up. And then as long as everything is straight, we're good. If it's not straight, they will bend it out on their frame rack and then we'll put the top on it then. Then, you know, I'll have a baseline to know that the entire truck is straight. Anyway, we're gonna air up that tire and we'll take it for a cruise. I can't get in over there. That's the first time I've ever heard this thing run. All right, let me get in. So we figured out where I cut my thumb. I accidentally reached around and grabbed the glass. That's what did it.
Just so you guys know, he does this all the time.
What?
Just hurt yourself, cut yourself,
Yeah, I know.
break bones, then you blame me.
Oh, it's all Rob's fault.
So where are we going with it?
We'll just go around the yard. Sounds like the clutch. Oh, here we go. It's gonna tear up the yard.
Okay. Can't remember how this thing's powerful.
Shoo! Don't run over all my like a little flags from my gas line.
Around here too?
Yeah, we'll just go through there. Not over there. Those are rocks.
I know, I see.
Oh,
But is this the spot or you want me to go further?
oh, just go around. Run over that.
Styrofoam?
Yeah,
Oh,
styrofoam.
that's gonna hurt the ozone.
Oh no, Greta.
We'll be watching you.
Oh, is there a little trail back here?
Yeah, this is where I go get firewood.
Must be nice on that side where you don't have air blowing you right in the face.
Well, I'll let you video. And then, yeah,
Let's get a little, some dampness in the air.
a little damp.
Turn down the heat real quick.
Oh, turn. Oh, does the heat even work?
Oh, heck yeah.
Rob claims that the AC works perfect on this truck too.
It really works good today.
Yeah. Sorry it's dark, but you know, Michigan. What is it, 4:30? It's probably 5 now. Don't get too wild because there's all those sticks up here. No. This is how I got a hole in my tractor tire. So this is
where you came in over here, huh?
Yep, this is where I get all the firewood from.
Nice.
Sweet.
Oh.
How much gas do you think we actually put in? 2-3 gallons?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It has a weird, different feel than I'm used to. I don't know if it feels stiffer on the front suspension.
Well, this has 2 shocks in the front.
Yeah. Twice the value.
I mean, you can go out on the road if you want.
I've driven this a million times. I put all the 30 miles on this thing.
Woo.
I bought it.
Rob's trying to kill me. She lives again. Yeah, you're good. And there it is.
Heat's starting to come on.
What's that?
Heat's starting to work.
Is it?
Feel the heat.
Yeah, you can go ahead and shut it off if you want. She runs good.
Told you.
I never doubted you for a minute.
I knew it.
Got some new parts in the back. Rob found these on Marketplace. I think I showed you guys already. Cab corner and all that. So it's a wrong side cab corner.
Is it?
I think so. Right hand. Yep. And you said you know where to get all these body parts for right anyway. So
Shorman's.
Rob knows all this Ford stuff. I'm new to the Ford world.
You know quality, you gotta go with it.
Oh shoot. Yeah. Well, so we can thank Rob for helping us with
You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah, because without him, it was a struggle. I was out here for over 4 hours last night and made no progress with it. I just didn't have enough hands and no leverage. With a lift, it would have been a little bit easier because I could have propped things up, but thankfully Rob shot on over here today and helped us get this thing all settled up.
Yeah. What you do for friends, you know?
I know, right? All right, well, anyway, so that's it.
Adios, amigos.
More to come with the F-150 as things start to happen. It's going to be 2 weeks or so before this thing can go to the frame shop and be checked out. So it's going to kind of sit between now and then, but we'll do other stuff, I'm sure. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks again to Big Rob here for helping me out. He's always a huge help.
No. What can I say?
I'll catch you on the next one.
Bye now.